Hi again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of RVBusiness Capital Talk, sponsored by the Dicor Corporation. I'm Rick Kessler. With me, as always, Sherm Goldenberg. We're from RVBusiness, and joining the two of us today, a couple of guys from Newmar, John Sammut, longtime Vice President of Sales and Marketing, and Casey Tubman, the almost brand new President of Newmar Corporation. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us, Rick.
Yeah, thank you, Rick.
So Casey, maybe we officially welcome you, at least on behalf of RVBusiness, to the RV industry. You've been president since August, I believe.
July 26th.
August 1st. It's the same thing, but don't worry, Sherm.
And
Yeah, you're right. August 1st. You're right.
And you had a long career at Whirlpool prior to that.
I did. I was at Whirlpool for 26 years. I started out in engineering for them for about 6 years with them, 10 years total in engineering. Then I did about 10 years in marketing and sales. Then I did almost 10 years of business unit leadership.
Wow. That's well positioned for running Newmar. That's great.
Yeah. Hopefully it was the right leading up to this, and it seemed like a good next step to come to Newmar and to the industry, to the RV industry.
So if we don't mind asking, what attracted you to the Newmar position?
Sure. Couple things actually. So I'm an outdoor person, and at times recruiters had reached out to me, and I had always told them I'm happy where I am, but if something comes along in an outdoor company, I'd have interest to talk to them. And then secondly, Winnebago Industries as a brand, and then Newmar as a brand, both are historical and great brands in the industry, well known, and a top reputation, let's say. And so as I talked to Mike Happy and Brett Woodson and some other folks, and then did a little more research, talked to people in the industry that I know and what they had to say about Newmar and Winnebago, it just seemed like a good fit from a culture standpoint. And from what they were trying to do as a company, with what I was trying to do as a person, a professional choice, let's say.
Okay.
Kind of a timely moment in the recent development of Winnebago, it seems like, from what I was scanning in this announcement of your arrival and stuff. I was reminded of its initiatives in the outdoor arena, et cetera. This isn't a minor thing for Winnebago.
No, if you think about Winnebago, I mean, again, a core set of brands that we have, 3 in the RV industry and then 2 in the marine industry. We continue to look for growth opportunities, and Newmar, again, looking at their history and the great innovations they've brought, there's just opportunities, I'll say, that they saw going forward. And again, I was happy when Mike called me and wanted to talk about it, and it seemed like a great opportunity.
And even after meeting John, you said, this still seems like a great opportunity.
I did actually. No, I didn't meet John till I came on the first day. But yes, even after spending, John and I have spent the last 8 weeks roughly together traveling, and we've run into you, Rick, and Sherm a couple times at different events. And I say John is dragging me around, but it's really me dragging him around probably to visit all these places. So we've gotten to know each other very well. And while we have our good times and our bad times, let's say, in our conversations, I think a lot of mutual respect for both of us has happened during that time, and I've enjoyed it. And John is one of those people we say is a trusted person in the industry, and he's shared that with me during our travels, and I appreciate him for doing that. So no, it's been a good startup to the experience here, and like I said, we've gone out and visited many of our dealers and had conversations with them, and all those have been great. I can't tell you how many people, every time I talk to someone and they hear the word Newmar, they say it's a great company. If they're a consumer, they say, I aspire to own one. If they're a dealer, they say, I love representing them, I love selling them, and that the customers are always happy with what they get and the follow through.
But what do you find when you arrive? What's the nature of Newmar? Now I'm asking both of you that question, both exterior, the market, but also interior in the current state of Newmar.
Sure. John, and you can help reflect on this, but I think for me coming in, again, being new to the industry, one of the things John was quick to tell me is, we need to build our inventory up. We were coming through COVID. We had a good inventory going into COVID. We took it down during COVID years, and now it was time to build it back up. So we've been doing that, getting our supply chain organized and efficient and back in running order, let's say, and making sure that we're shipping what we say we're building. And from that, getting some inventory out there. And based on that, we're seeing some retails where people didn't have anything to sell. Now they have something to sell. We see some retails from it. It's not going to shock anyone. We do see the industry just like everybody else sees the industry. It has slowed down. But at the same time, we're happy with what we're seeing in terms of the sell-through of the products that we are building right now. But we do monitor it daily. John knows this. I call him regularly to check in and see what's happening with our retails each week. And let's just say it's a daily conversation now, what we do continuing to go forward. And again, for me, we just had employee meetings this week with all 1,250 of our employees. And we told them the same thing. We're monitoring, we're forecasting, we're trying to stay on top of it. And we're going to do all we can to stay up and running smoothly as long as we possibly can.
Well put. John, what could you contribute to that conversation?
Well, I would say that both with some of the top dealers that we visited, as well as Casey having the opportunity to meet suppliers as well as other industry professionals, I think it validated his decision to come to Newmar. I think he'd be the first to say that in terms of great people, but also being known as a company that does what it says, high quality, which is one of the pillars, as well as innovation, another one of the pillars. If we have a three-legged stool, then the third leg of that stool would be exceptional customer service support, but knowing that we have areas of improvement in every one of those areas and beyond.
What could you say, both of you, about current motorized product initiatives on the part of Newmar? What do we expect? What are we seeing coming out? Your strength, and what do we look for down the road here? I want to know exactly what your secrets are.
Sure. I'm sure you would love to hear some things that we're working on. I think I'll be the first one to say I'm going to be careful with what I share, being new to the industry. What I will say is we continue to look at where we can bring innovation to the consumer, whether it's on the products we build today or the future products that we work towards. And again, keeping the consumer at the center of it and building towards what they're asking for is what our job is and what our company's known for. John talked about it, but our customer service group continues to be, I'll call it best in class in the industry for what we do. And we'll continue to grow that and do more with it as we go forward. Products, we think of it the same way. We want to make the products they want, and we want to build the innovation in that they're looking for. So yes, expect to see that going forward. Will I tell you exactly what that is? I'm sorry, I will not.
John, this is where you can say you're bringing back the fifth wheel.
No, I cannot say that, Rick. I'd say, in addition to what Casey stated about innovation, knowing that Newmar isn't going to be the least expensive product in any segment in which we participate, I think the key is we continue to bring value, and value is innovation and features for the dollar. So I think the consumer out there has become more savvy and understands the importance of value versus just being the lowest price.
How, in terms of, I'm still going to drive on this product a little more. How, in terms of recent trends, have your products changed in terms of emphasis or design?
I'd say floor plan is still a major driver in the development of our product from year to year, but I would say Kim Moore, in charge of our design, and her team have done an exceptional job staying on top of the latest interior design trends, whether it be fabrics, flooring material, countertop, even lighting fixtures and plumbing fixtures. I think she and her team are doing an exceptional job keeping us. I think the folks, especially with COVID, are looking to bring their home on the road. So the more like their home that she can develop the interior and make it resemble that, I think the more and more customers will be gravitating to our products.
Remote lifestyles, work styles are having an impact, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. The other one I would say, Sherm, to go with that is John talked about the home space and Kim's area of making sure that's right. I think there's I'll call it the driver space, and making sure, Ron Stichter for our team and his engineering team continue to make sure that's the best they can. And for me, I think of it again, I drove 700 miles down to Arkansas a week ago, and it's a little bit older model. And what I know is in the newer models, with adaptive cruise or lane assist type things, that's the stuff that as we go forward, you want that RV to drive just like your car does. And so we need to continue to make sure we're advancing in those areas as well.
Well, go ahead, Rick, go ahead.
Well, I was going to shift the topic a little bit. Is that all right? You, Casey, you mentioned earlier that you're an outdoors person. Were you an RVer as well before you came over?
So and it was one of the reasons I wanted to look at the RV industry. I grew up camping in towables, not RVs, but in towables with my parents and my brothers and sisters. And then my kids have gone a few times as I've gone out and rented them. We've never owned one, but we were not RV people. So that was new to me. And so coming in, I asked Matt Utley, our service guy, to take me out for a ride. And we drove around, and Ron as well has helped me out a little bit, let's say. And then I took a trip with one of them down to Indianapolis as a trial run, a little closer to home, let's say, for a weekend. And then we hooked a 14-foot trailer up and drove it to Arkansas and back for the Thanksgiving week. So trying to get as much experience in. From a product standpoint, as a product person, I've always said you have to live with your products or with your consumers to understand what they want. And so I'm doing my best to live the lifestyle. John knows, and a few other people know, I stay in one occasionally here in Napanee, my home away from home, because I do live a little ways away. And so I commute in some days, and other days I stay on campus with the one I'm using. So again, just trying to get as much experience as I can and make sure I know what the consumers are looking for.
Casey is a boater as well, so.
Yes, and I am a boater as well. I'm an avid boater.
I assume that would be a Chris Craft.
Not yet, but someday. I aspire to have a Chris Craft.
But I assume we'll see you at the Tampa show, if not sooner.
You will see me at the Tampa show. I've got the whole week booked to be down there and stay with it. And we've got our country club members coming in as well. So we'll be out with our customers, our consumers, and then our trade dealers as well.
Very good.
Okay. Rick?
Yeah.
Round them up.
I think we ought to let them off the hook here. Casey, John, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Much
Rick.
appreciated. Much appreciated, Rick. Thank you.
Same here.
We also, I'd be remiss if I also didn't thank Dicor Corporation again for their sponsoring of this series. Gentlemen, thanks. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, guys.
Sounds
Appreciate
good.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you.